feel like I've woken up from a trance, like some type of bondage or something like that. And I don't want to sound dramatic or seem dramatic, but that's kind of how it feels. I'm just really tired of feeling the need to always wear all this fake stuff. By fake stuff, I'm referring to like added hair extensions. I wasn't really a wig person. I've never really worn wigs like that. But I love to get faux locks, box braids, passion twists, spring twists, like the whole lot. I kind of woke up one day and I was just like, what am I doing all of this for? And with these protective styles, what am I really protecting? Like, is it my hair, or am I trying to protect my ego, like in the sense of insecurities and how I really feel about my hair? The main thing that got me to this point was this whole thing about hair dysmorphia, almost feeling like a completely different person when you change your hair, or in particular when you remove all the added hair. Hair dysmorphia is real. It is real. I noticed that my perception of myself change or changes when I go from having like the longer hair, the fuller hair, and I'm left with my natural hair. I felt like something about my face changed, even something about my body changes. And thinking about it from a logical place, nothing about me has actually changed but my hair, you know? And it's so weird to describe it. It's almost like an alienation. It's almost like not recognizing yourself. It's a discomfort. And it's a real thing. Like a lot of people actually do experience it. And I think that's why a lot of us do resort to covering and covering and covering and covering. But it's a bit absurd as well when you think about it. How you can feel so alienated from something that's literally a part of you that grows out of your body, and it was made and it's evolved to be a certain type of way, whether that's down to the texture, the density, because of a lot of factors, genetics and evolution, to adapt to like certain environments and stuff like that. It is very weird to have that relationship with your real hair, because I think I've always had an admiration for the texture of my hair, and I've always liked natural hair and things like locks and hairstyles that are Afrocentric. I think straight hair is boring, to be honest. No offense if you have straight hair, but on me, I feel like straight hair is boring. Everyone has it. Like everyone is wearing a straight wig, you know? It's nice to see a little bit of character. And I know like there's many historical events that have led up to this whole disliking of our hair or being uncomfortable with our hair. I don't want to make this a political discussion or a social discourse on why Black women feel uncomfortable with their natural hair, because to be honest, it's just hair. But I also do want to consider the fact that because it comes with so much conversation and even debates, you know, people really do argue back and forth. Do Black women love their hair? Like, it's really a big thing. And because of that, it does, you know, make me aware of the fact that yes, there is a deep rooted issue. There's a lot of history behind the way we feel, you know. You can go as far as to say Eurocentric beauty standards. It's weird because we're in an age of inclusivity, diversity, self-love, self-acceptance. But at the same time, I feel like as Black women, we're often the hardest on each other when it comes to these things. There was an era of the whole femininity coach thing. And I started watching femininity channels a bit too young when I think about it, a bit too impressionable, and I'm glad that I've kind of let that whole feminine thing go. Like I've let it go now, but during its earlier years, there was really a push to conform a lot to Eurocentric beauty standards to achieve a certain lifestyle. And in my personal experience, this thing of feeling uncomfortable with my hair, I think it really started in high school. Because I went to a high school where the hair rules, for some reason, it just seemed like it was targeted towards girls with natural hair. And it was like every other week there was a new rule, and it would like pop up out of thin air. Nothing was really written down. It was a whole she said, oh, we were told this by this teacher, you can't do this, your puff is too high, your hair is too big, your braids are too big, your braids are too long, you can't go to school with your shrinkage, you have to do something with it, cornrow it, oh, but those cornrows are too thick. You know, like it was very frustrating. And the frustration came from the fact that I felt like my hair could never just be okay with you. It was always a problem, and it's so shocking because I went to school in Zimbabwe. Majority of the students at my high school were black students. So it doesn't make sense how our own people are the ones that are being so combative when it comes to something like this. And I did speak up about it. A lot of the people who I learned with, we did, you know, write petitions, but that's another story for another day. It didn't end well, but I think that's where a lot of the frustration with my hair came from. The feeling of it just always being too much in some way. And then as I got older, and like as you get older at my school, you were allowed to start wearing twists and braids, like with added hair. So I think at that point, that's when I got really into the added hair, really into the extensions, the fake hair. And I would basically do it like back to back, back to back, back to back. From that point, I was never the same. This whole journey and me wanting to embrace my natural hair without added extensions is just about simple self acceptance and just being comfortable in my own skin. Because if I was born this way, to have this hair texture and for my hair to behave in a certain way, I should just be able to just be fine with that. Again, it's not a political thing, it's not a social thing. I'm not trying to convince anyone to do the same, but I would like people to just reflect a lot more on why they do these things, because I think a lot of us are hiding behind the wigs, the weave, the braids, and everything like that. And I also don't want to forget to mention that a lot of the synthetic braiding hair that we do use is toxic. They have chemicals that are harmful to the body and have been linked to things like fibroids and even cancer. Vanity, beauty has never been that worth it, and I don't want it to be such a thing in my life where I feel like I would rather put looking good, because I can still look good like this, come on. I don't want to put looking good over my actual health. And so it doesn't make sense that I'm just gonna keep wearing this toxic braiding hair 24/7 when it can actually be harmful to me health-wise. But with that being said, I don't want to say that this is gonna be like a black and white thing. I'm never ever gonna do my hair again, because life is meant to be lived, you know, and it has been fun, and it was fun for me to learn how to do twists, learn how to do faux locks, even learn how to corner. I just learned how to corner. And listen, that gratification that you get from knowing that your hands are able to craft something so beautiful and stylish and cool. Like, it can't be topped, you know. And I do think it's fun to experiment with different hairstyles, try different colors maybe. You know, life is meant to be lived, as I said. And this is a journey of me being able to discern, am I being creative? Am I experimenting, or am I trying to hide behind these things?